Wake up and smell the cosmic coffee or matcha or tea or your cosmic beverage of choice, because it is just another Magic Monday. AKA your cosmic insights for the week of April 11th to April 17th, broken down in an accessible way so that you can understand how to leverage this celestial energy to live your most magical aligned life. I'm here every single Monday, 2:30 a.m. PST, 5:30 a.m. EST. And this week is jam-packed, loves. We have an aspect that is the hallmark, I would say one of the hallmark defining moments of 2022 exacting this week, Jupiter conjoining Neptune. We have a Libra full moon over the weekend that really draws our psychological awareness towards where our priorities are and if we're truly creating time for all of the different priorities that we have. We have Mars entering Pisces, really lending itself to taking intuitive, aligned action, checking with your intuition to see when is the time to go after what it is that you want. It's a jam-packed week. So let's get into it, because when the planets are busy up there, it tends to feel busy down here. So I'm gonna put down my matcha so you don't have to hear this the entire video, because I don't think that's how you want to start your week. But cheers, loves, let's get into it. Okay, so we're gonna kick off with the vibe check of the week. Now, if you're new here, this is essentially me likening the cosmos to a real life situation so you have something to sort of latch onto or to understand. Okay, so the vibe check this week is a music festival, and specifically the imagery that came to my mind was Woodstock, but you can sub in maybe if you've gone to a music festival, Coachella, LIV, whatever sort of comes to mind. And I don't mean the Woodstock that ended horrifically. I more so was eliciting feelings of, peace and love. We're all in this together with the music and some other stuff that typically happens at music festivals. That's what this week sort of feels like. Haley, does this mean I should leave work all week and just find a meadow that I can frolic in? I mean, if you can, that's great, but I will say we have a Virgo moon midweek that might have a lot of anxiety while you're just like frolicking in the meadow, but it is this really heart-opening energy. So if you've been to a music festival, you've been to Coachella or Crossed or wherever, please comment below what festivals you've gone to. Bonnaroo, I'm trying to think of some, but if you've gone to one, you know that feeling at the really good heart-opening sort of ones. Like the one that comes to my mind was going to LIV. Everybody was so kind there, and to walk by and they're like, happy lib, and you just connect with all of these interesting people and you're dancing on the dance floor, and you just can't imagine that in a world where there's this much love and understanding and compassion and celebration of life, that so much horrific stuff can occur all over the place. It just feels like this really protected space where it's just about love, it's just about understanding, it's just about coming together and dancing and celebrating life. And that's what this week feels like, because we have Jupiter conjoining Neptune in the middle of the week, which is really heart softening around really being able to see the divine in other people, really being able to see situations from a higher perspective. And it's this really heart opening energy. Like, it's gonna be a hard week. Even though we're still in Aries season, keep in mind, Mars is moving into Pisces, and so the sun is answering to Mars during Aries season. So we're really gonna feel that shift. And with this happening shortly after Jupiter conjoining Neptune, it's sort of like the energy where you're at a music festival and maybe your friend didn't meet you at the stage that you wanted her to, and you're worried about her or something of that nature, and you want to be mad. You're like, oh, I missed a set because I was waiting on you. What the heck? But it's almost that energy where you just see her and then your heart just softens at this music festival and you're like, come on, let's go dance over here. With this week, it's sort of the energy where it's like, I just don't have the energy. Like even though I'm not obsessed with how you treated me, you didn't tell me where that set was, or maybe within your life, your friends spent time without you, there was a betrayal from your brother, like those situations where you're just like, oh, that wasn't that wasn't great, but I love you and I don't want to exert the energy being mad at you. And even if it's like a connection where it's like that person is not in your life anymore, there's this ability this week to be able to look back on it and maybe see the higher purpose around, okay, it's just clear that we were not meant to be within one another's lives, and I can, love myself and love you enough to choose forgiveness, enough to see the higher perspective around you vacating or emptying my life, what newness and what good sort of rushed in. So there's sort of this ability, maybe not anger is what you're feeling this week. You could just be feeling frolicking in a meadow, playing with the flowers. But there just is this energy this week about being able to see things from a higher perspective, like that energy at a music festival, and you're just dancing and you're just in love with the people around you, in love with life, in love with your friends, in love with this music, and you just don't have the energy to feed into the negativity. That's what this week feels like. Towards the end of the week, there is some build up and some intensity with the Libra full moon. I do want to announce that my Libra full moon over on my other YouTube channel, Little Yoga Flow, it's about 28 minutes. You can check it out right here. We're talking about how to find balance between all these competing priorities. That is definitely going to be a component as we move into this weekend. But regardless, let's take it day by day. So we'll start with Monday, April 11th. So on Monday, April 11th, we have a waxing gibbous moon as the Aries sun trine the Leo moon. Both really speak to self-expression, assertion, allowing our light to radiate authentically, boldly. So remember to lean into that energy. You could feel that it's trying to be controlled or dimmed by other individuals as there is a square to Saturn. Like you can feel like you make this proposal at work and then a snarky coworker is like, well, what about A, B, and C? And you're like, Martha. But again, we're building to that Jupiter conjoining Neptune. So you'll just be like, Martha's inner child is really acting out right now. Or, isn't it sad when people feel like they have to undermine other people's successes at work? And there's so much power in being able to rise above like that. And that's what I really encourage this week, is to choose that energy of compassion, choose that energy of heart opening above wasting your energy on people who truly hurt people. And when you can see that perspective of someone when they hurt you or when they lash out at you or when they do something that's hurtful, it's truly like a component within them, like their inner child isn't healed, or they're looking for attention, or they're looking for something. My mentor, she's amazing. Her name's Denise Winston, but she always tells me, like, if you're having a problem with someone, or you're frustrated with someone, or angry with someone, whether it's, a work situation or otherwise, picture them just covered in puppies. Like, just picture them playing with puppies. Send them like 10 golden retrievers in your mind, 10 pugs in your mind, and just see them playing with puppies, because it's really hard to stay mad at someone when you just see them playing with puppies, right? No one can be mad at that. So there is this energy of frustration on Monday, but again, with the building Jupiter conjunct Neptune, take that higher ground of realizing the larger perspective of sometimes why people act the way that they do, or lash out or hurt you or anything of that nature. And you have a fixed amount of energy every day. So just being mindful on where it is that you're exerting energy on Monday. And if it's worth your energy, just let go. Send that person puppies. Even if it's frustrating, let go. Send that person puppies and save your energy for where your heart is in and what deserves your attention. Tuesday, the 12th, is when Jupiter conjoining Neptune exacts. And I have a whole video on this particular aspect because it is such a big one, and I take it sign by sign. So make sure to get to the lowdown on that if you have not watched that video yet. But essentially, we have Jupiter, which is the planet of higher meaning, of abundance, of expansion, meeting up with Neptune, the planet of merging boundaries, of illusion, of blurriness, of transcendence. So with these two getting together, especially in the sign of Pisces, I mean, it is a woo-woo fest. It is a woo-woo fest. This is the energy I was talking about at the music festival, where everyone is just talking to strangers and just open-hearted and dancing and celebrating life and able to see the divine in every single person that they come in contact with, because we don't have all that stuff in the way, like the ego stuff around I have to prove myself, or if I let Martha say that snarky comment at work, then people are going to think A, B, and C. Whereas with Jupiter conjoining Neptune, it's just like bringing back, even if you're not at a music festival, bringing that energy of loving kindness to just be at that meeting table and be like, okay, maybe don't say this out loud, but just be like, okay, Martha clearly is wanting some attention right now. Her inner child must be hurting, or she must feel inadequate in some way. Being able to be at that work table and just say, oh, thank you so much for your perspective, Martha. I really appreciate you feeling comfortable to share your feedback with me. That really indicates that you see potential within this project enough that you want to share your viewpoint. So I really appreciate you sharing that. That's like kind of my go-to if something frustrating is happening, is kill them with kindness, okay? Kill them with kindness, because when you're really genuine and sweet, when people are trying to get a reaction out of you, they like freeze up, they don't know what to do. So consider that towards the beginning part of this week. And with Jupiter conjoining Neptune, I know it's a Tuesday morning, it exacts at 7:42 a.m., but try to do something. Please honor your spiritual side, whether that's meditating in the morning, taking a yoga class, pulling some cards, whatever it is that returns you to your big picture. Whether that is, love for all humans, or a cause that you hold dear, or personal spirituality, or personal religion. Something that pulls you out of the day-to-day, which, by the way, the moon enters Virgo on Tuesday, so there's sort of split attention, but making sure to balance out that neurotic, I don't know why that's always the word that I choose when it comes to Virgo energy, but that neurotic, detailed, busy energy of Virgo. Remember to bring yourself back to the big picture, to the dream, to the vision, right? Allowing yourself to melt and emerge into it. This is the only time in our lifetime that this will happen in the sign Pisces. So it's really calling in this energy of Pisces, which is compassion, selflessness, higher perspective, higher wisdom. So make sure to carve out some time for that as well. And I just do want to specify is that this aspect happens every 13 years. So it's not the most rare once in a lifetime thing, but what is once in a lifetime is them occurring in Pisces, as they haven't been in Pisces together since the 1800s. And again, you can check out that video for more information on that. And like I mentioned, the moon's in Virgo on Tuesday. So there is this push-pull, right? And keep in mind, I don't want you to feel pressure like at exactly 7:42, you need to be like, meditating and transcending. No, I mean, this is the energy that really gives a nice sheen or tint, a rose-colored tint to the overall April astrology. So I don't want you to feel limited by only celebrating on Tuesday, but if you can find some time and some space to anchor that into your schedule. And what's cool about it is that there is this anchoring energy on Tuesday. So last week we talked heavily about sextiles and how sextiles in astrology, it's not a given, it's an opportunity of planets to work together. And on Tuesday we have this opportunity between the Aries Sun and Saturn in Aquarius. And this happening on the same day as the Jupiter conjoining Neptune. And with Virgo, it really speaks to grounding down our visions, our dreams into something tangible. And I know you guys are so sick of me being like, you gotta do all these things. I'm not saying you have to launch the thing or put it out this week, but allow yourself to take small steps towards it. Because Jupiter conjoining Neptune, it can be a euphoric energy. It can also be, delusional, certainly. I just think of going to this festival. It's called Lightning in a Bottle, and I went to it a couple years ago. And I remember when I was there, they have all these cool workshops. Like I went to some astrology workshops there. I had the best time. And I just remember when I was there, I was so inspired. I took writing workshops and astrology workshops. And when I got home, I started 3 websites. Like I started one for my creative writing. I started my astrology, my prior astrology business, which was astrology, bath bombs, and essential oils. Fun fact, if anyone's been here since the Astro Goddess days, can you comment below? And I just want to say, if anyone's ever in a space where it's like the first iteration of something doesn't work out, I really encourage you to keep trying. The bath bombs and the essential oil didn't quite work out, but what is Aries season if it's not a reminder to try again? Like entrepreneurs who are successful, they're the people who have failed forward. So every time they fail, they innovate and they keep going. So yes, I failed. I started an astrology bath bomb and essential oil business that didn't quite take off. But anyway, so got that idea while I was in music festival. I wanted to start a website for my writing, and I wanted to start Haley Comet Astrology because I had been doing readings for friends, and I was like, okay, it's time to make this a business. So I got home and I was so sick. I remember for some reason after that festival, I got so sick and I just had all of these ideas. I was so inspired, but I actually made them happen. 2 of them failed. Like, I don't write on my website anymore, and I certainly don't make bath bombs because literally making 4 bath bombs would take me and my friend Sarah, who I did it with, a lovely Aquarius, love you Sarah. It would take us 12 hours to like make 3 bath bombs. We're like, is this business savvy? And keep in mind, you could probably do that quicker than us. Our hearts really weren't in it. I loved the astrology component of it. I didn't love the actual mechanics of it, but it was cute. We had like Aries bath bombs and Pisces bath bombs. It was fun. It was a cute moment. It was an era. But anyways, the point of me sharing that is that we can think of things that are fun and lighthearted as just like dancing and being around people and being inspired. We can think of that as a waste of time or just recreation. But when you're in that space, sometimes it can prompt new interesting insights. Like when we take a vacation from reality, we see things in a different world. When we allow ourselves that space within our brain for new stimuli to come in, new ideas can generate. And the purpose of me sharing this with you is because there is this inspiration, big picture energy this week. And I don't want you to get too swallowed up into the details, although the Virgo moon on Tuesday particularly is going to be like, what about this? And we got to get this into place and all of the things. Like, you might feel that, but just keep coming back to that big picture. Like, wouldn't it be cool if I had a website that did this or a business that did this? And with the Sun sextile Saturn, there's a possibility that it could be rooted on something strong or with a strong foundation. So yes, maybe the bath bombs and the creative writing website won't work out, but the astrology business did. And gosh, 6 years later, here we are. And on Tuesday, the Virgo moon trines who it's answering to, which is Mercury in Taurus, which is really allowing us to break down the big picture vision and anchor it into sort of the practical steps. But again, don't get bogged down. Don't get so frustrated. Like, I have to, for these astrology bath bombs, I have to get the Epsom salt, and then I got to get the essential oils, and I got to get all these things. Like, don't let yourself getting bogged down in those details make you give up on the initial idea or dream. It is worth it, I promise. Everything is figure outable. So use this grounded energy to plot down, wow, wouldn't a novel like this be cool? Wouldn't it be cool if my new business looked like this? Wouldn't it be cool if my new nonprofit looked like this? Get lost in the daydream, but make sure to write it down so that you can practically take steps forward when it is time to. Because this week might not be the time. So on Wednesday, the Virgo moon will oppose Venus in Pisces. And this really gets me to the major theme of this week. And I've given a lot of like business and work examples, and that's not intentional because what truly feels to be a theme this week is in relationships, right? It's like that energy around love and forgiveness. And on Wednesday, there just feels to be a little bit of a critical energy with the Virgo moon opposing Venus and Pisces. Like I said, Pisces energy sees the divine in every single person. And Virgo is likely at times, I'm not coming for anyone with Virgo placements, I have quite a few, but Virgo at times can look at individuals and just see the flaws or the errors because that's what they do. They focus upon the details, and we don't fault them for that. We don't shame them for that. That's simply who they are, and they have a very valuable role within the zodiac. But on Wednesday, it feels like this energy where our desire to be love and to see divine, whether it's our intimate connections or our friendships, we could be focused on, well, they dress like this. Their breath smells like this in the morning. Like focusing on the little details rather than just focusing on that heart-opening energy of being able to really feel seen and feel understood and feel anchored within the present moment with someone. So with the Virgo moon trining Uranus and Taurus, I would recommend taking some departure from your daily routine. Soothe the Virgo moon by making it something healthy of some sort. So like going on a new hike or trying a new health food restaurant, or if you've been really wanting to, try Bikram, getting into a class, something of the nature that soothes the Virgo moon by being practical in some regard, soothes the Venus Pisces by connecting with something bigger, and soothes the Uranus and Taurus, which wants to move stimuli. Thursday, the mantra, particularly in the morning, is breathe. Okay, the mantra is breathe. That overwhelmed energy that I was talking to you about around getting overwhelmed, like, I want to start the astrology bath bomb, but there's so many little things to do, or like you know, feeling these depths of emotion for someone else, you know, going on a crush or a date and being like overwhelmed, like, oh, is this person I want to marry or date? They have weird feet and I don't know, like focusing on the details. The mantra is breathe. Wherever you're feeling this overwhelmed energy, they have to have it all figured out. They have to have all of the details all dialed in. Relax. Like the beautiful thing about all the Piscean energy this week is that we're feeling connected to a higher cause, to a higher purpose, to these higher forces that are supporting us. So consciously working to take yourself out of those nervous spirals, if you notice that you get into them. And the moon is void at 11:11, no joke, PST, 11:11 PST is when the moon's void. And then we have like a nice void lunch break as the moon enters Libra at 1:46 p.m. PST. Loves, for anyone else who works through lunch, raise a hand who works through lunch. Okay, this is a safe space. We could be honest here. Who works through lunch? Okay, I always just feel like it's such a waste of time if I actually walk away from my desk to go eat lunch. So I'm so bad about just bringing my food over to my computer and continuing to work because, you know, I'm a natal Virgo moon, so I'm like, must maximize every minute. I'm trying to work on it. But this is the week that really take that break, because with a void moon, we're not that productive anyway. With the Virgo moon being stressed by harsh aspects to Jupiter and Neptune, it's feeling overwhelmed. And the world looks differently when you take a break. My mom told me this once. I was so overwhelmed and we were talking and she was like, sometimes, I think it's like from a Bible verse or something of that nature, but it's basically, sometimes all you need is a nap and a snack. And I was like, I don't have time for a nap and a snack. I'm so busy, I have so much to do. But it's like the more that you don't have time for a nap and a snack, the more you need a nap and a snack, because after you give that to yourself, you see the world in a whole different way. You see that task in a whole new way. You blow things up when you're overwhelmed and operating on no sleep and just going go, go, go. So nap and a snack, okay? On Thursday, if you're feeling overwhelmed, maybe a lunch break, a nap and a snack, or if you're at work, take a walk, take a break, detach from technology, just give yourself a moment. And then when the moon enters Libra, the sign of the full moon, you could be craving a little bit more balance, which is a theme of this week. And as we get closer to the full moon, do keep in mind things tend to feel more busy, more hectic. And oh my goodness, I've been talking already for 29 minutes and it's only Thursday and we haven't even got to the full moon. So I am so sorry, I'm so chatty. And then on Thursday, Mars enters Pisces. So again, this was the energy of our energy levels, what it is that motivates us and excites us. That's Mars answering to, you know, Jupiter, and it's in Pisces. The shadow side of this is that we can notice our energy levels are wildly inconsistent. It's a sort of energy where it's like oscillating between extremes around feeling really, really motivated and energized, maybe like 11 p.m. and the next day just not wanting to get out of bed. Pisces isn't the most consistent energy. It's a fish, and fish kind of are a little skitterish, wouldn't you say? So you can notice your energy is a little skitterish with Mars in Pisces. But again, when you are tapped in, you can find that you make amazing things happen. And what I mean by tapped in, it's not like, you know, people who consider themselves intuitives have this magical gift that you do not. Like I will say, I look at some charts and they have like a strong 12th house, strong 8th house, strong 4th house. I'm like, okay, you're definitely tapped in for sure. But we all are. We are all intuitive, okay? You have a connection to the divine and you can tap into it. And with Mars in Pisces, the more that you force, like, I've got to get this thing off the ground. I've got to work until 2 a.m. to get these bath bombs out, rather than flow, which is like, yeah, I just really don't feel like working on that tonight. Let me just go to the park and do some yoga. And then when you're doing some yoga at the park, you're like, I'm feeling inspired to do this other thing. Then when you do that, your energy's in this vibration of just kind of ease and flow, and things tend to go easier, it tends to flow. That's really the way to go with Mars and Pisces. It can feel frustrating because it's the energy and the inspiration might not be there when you need it, but just follow your energy. Notice what it is that you feel like doing. Trust me, there will be a time that you feel like working on the bath bomb project, or you feel like cleaning your sink, or you feel like doing these things. So follow your energies, stay in tune, allow it to guide you. And we have a Libra moon on Friday, which is Venus Day, so that's lovely. And the only aspect is that the Libra moon does oppose Chiron in Aries. And do keep in mind that this full moon exacts on Saturday, the 16th. So on Friday, things could be feeling more hectic. There can be certain pulls or certain illuminations of hurt within your unions. So feeling this sensation around, oh, I do all of this stuff for person A and they don't appreciate it, or feeling this hurt around, why don't I have a person like this within my world? Relationships are sort of spotlighted, and remember, connecting to our heart space with Venus conjoining Neptune is highlighted as well, and it just feels like there can be a trigger or a frustration on Friday sort of brewing that may or may not be part of your Libra full moon story the following day. And on Saturday the 16th, the Libra full moon exacts in the middle of the day, so 11:55 a.m. PST. Gotta love a full moon at noon. Noon full moon. And this particular full moon, so it does have some support. It is receiving trines from Mars and Saturn. So there is this energy about being able to find that balance within our world, because Libra is the scales. That's why we did so many balance postures within my Libra full moon yoga class over on my Self-Care Astrology channel. It's all about balance, and it's so much about relationships, because relationships are really a balance of your needs and mine, your priorities and mine, and how we can find that middle ground, that place of compromise, that place of collaboration. However, the square to Pluto is sort of throwing a wrench in the matter, or sort of this deeper level where you could be feeling hectic. You could be feeling like there's so many things that people want from you that you are scattered and not able to give anyone anything. You can feel like the balance within your world has been horrendously off. You're working all the time with not enough time for rest. You're spending all of your time around other people, not enough time alone, or vice versa. All of your time alone, not enough time with people. All of your time, at home, and not enough time working on heart-centered endeavors that mean something to you. There can be this energy where it's like this wake-up call, and it sort of comes from this deep psychological place from the square to Pluto around, hey, these areas of your life are out of balance. Like if I were to take a list of your priorities and a list of how it is that you spend every day, would they be similar? Because if you look at your day, you're like, okay, I woke up, I spent an hour on TikTok. Then we look at the list of the things that you care the most about. TikTok's not on that list. And it's not to say I'm not, coming after you about your daily routine or anything like that, but there can be a draw around, what am I not giving to? Gosh, I love spending time with my grandpa, with my cousins. Why do I not create that time for it? Or I need more rest, I need more leisure. How can I create more time? How can I work to find that balance? Because it's not that Libras, come out the gate balance. Their life is a journey to find that balance between them and other people. So with this lunation, it's a call to where we can find balance within our world. With the square to Pluto, it could be excavating where even connections have felt unbalanced. If you're constantly giving and the other person is constantly taking, where your contracts, any sort of partnership within your world is highlighted here, and really drawing awareness like, okay, this person's putting in this person's putting in this. Is this balance? Does this feel like a give and take? Does this feel fluid? And does this feel healthy? With the square to Pluto, again, it can excavate some stuff that you don't necessarily want to look at within the balance within your life as well as within your relationships. But I would definitely say lean into this energy and choose love when appropriate. And you might be saying, Haley, I'm sick of choosing love. I'm people pleasing. People are walking all over me. I don't want to choose love anymore. No. That is not love, okay? Because love has to start with you, and it's so cliche, and I'm so sorry to be repeating on Magic Monday, but it needs to start with you. And if you try to be everything for everyone, you will be nothing for the most important person, which is yourself. Like that energy that you give to other people needs to start with pouring into yourself. Sometimes love is telling that person, hey, I know at the music festival, I promised you when we got back that we were going to start this new essential oil business, but truthfully, I don't have the time and the energy within my life. I know the other person is mad for a second, but the law of relationships states that even if to an ego level they can't see it, to a soul level, what's good for one person is good for the other person. Like, if you are not honoring your boundaries, you are not loving yourself nor that other person. Because oftentimes we can get stuck into a martyr role when we're just like, I'm just going to continue with this essential oil business because Martha wants me to, even though I don't want to. But like, the universe is like, no, Martha needs more time because we have this other cool, amazing project planned for her and she needs this off her plate. And that's why we've been trying to whisper and tell you that you need to walk away from this. Like, truly, what is best for you, what gives your self-love is best for the other person. Even if they're like, come on, come out. What are you talking about? You need a night off. Like, come on. Love starts with yourself, honoring your boundaries, honoring where in your life feels imbalanced, and then you're able to anchor it in for others. So when I say love, when I say forgiveness, I do not mean letting people walk all over you. I do not mean betraying yourself by doing things that you do not want to do and you have a gut feeling is not for you. Like, true love, even for other people, even if they're angry in that moment, trust me when I say enacting the boundaries that are needed for you allows you to show up as a better friend, sister, lover for that other person, even if at an ego level they protest within that moment. Again, with Jupiter conjunct Neptune, seeing the bigger picture of it all and noticing where that could have felt imbalance if you've been giving too much from that martyr role or anything of the nature. Guys, I cannot believe how much I'm talking today, and I am so sorry. Let me know below, do you prefer these shorter? Like, should I work to quicken these, or do you not mind the monologues that I sometimes go on? Like, please let me know. I used to make these 10 minutes, and girl, it's saying I've been talking for 30 minutes, so, and we're on Saturday. I guess we're almost done. But anyways, that's Saturday, that's the full moon. The moon is void at 2:57 until it enters Scorpio that afternoon at 5:23 p.m., which again, Scorpio feels things intensely. And with the trine to Mars and Pisces, you know, if there is a night out where you're like, ooh, my intuition is saying no, I love you guys, but I'm feeling imbalanced within my energy. I'm having this strong gut instinct that I do not want to go. Let me bow out of this. Like, trust your intuition around what it is that you want to spend time on Saturday. Maybe for some, I'm not saying don't go out. For some of you, could be like, ooh, I don't typically go out, but for some reason, I'm really in the mood to today. Follow your energy. Notice what comes up and what you feel intuitively inspired to take action on. And then on Sunday, that Scorpio moon trines Venus in Pisces, which draws our awareness towards pleasure and the seeking of it. Would be a great day to spend with your lover, going on a wonderful date, feeling really intimately connected to that person. I do want to mention Mercury and Uranus are building to conjoin, and they both oppose the Scorpio moon. So you could notice if you try to work on something, like your technology could be wonky, or it could just, your mind, it could be hard to focus. You could notice you're really mentally all over the place. So Sunday, remember, bring yourself back into balance. Maybe if you've been working nonstop, give yourself permission to rest. If you've been alone all the time, give yourself permission to go out and to be social, or vice versa. Whatever it is that you need to bring yourself back into balance, honor it on Sunday. For some of you might be like, oh, I've not been working enough and I need to get caught up on stuff. That's totally fine, but I will just mention the internet and technology could be a little wonky, so just look out for that. Mercury conjunct Pluto exacts that evening, and Mercury also sextiles Venus, so we're really in the mood to see the divine and the lovely in one another. We're really in the mood to have really nice sensual experiences with one another. Like, you know, Taurus is a foodie, Pisces loves to get lost into pleasurable experiences, so Sunday really feels date day to me. That's my pick personally, but with the Scorpio moon, people that you really have that deep connection with. So loves, that is your astrology forecast. And the Magic Monday mantra of the week is I choose love. And like I touched on with this Libra full moon, choosing love does not mean betraying yourself. In fact, it means honoring your boundaries. Because when you love someone, you want to show up as the best version of yourself for them. And there is a very, you know, partnership focus this week with Jupiter conjoining Neptune. We're a little bit more heart open. We're a little bit more inspired. We're a little bit more able to see the divine in one another. With the Libra full moon, there's really a focus to our relationships. If we feel like we can be the most authentic version of ourselves, Aries sun, within those connections, Libra moon. Any moment that we step out of our authenticity or step out of our integrity in order to make a relationship work, oftentimes we're actually, poisoning the connection. Wherever your scales have felt off, whatever area of your life has been more heavy, and whatever area of your life you've been depriving, this is the week that sort of aligns it, as well as choosing balance and cultivating balance within our connections, like ensuring that we are honoring ourselves, because we are in Aries season. This is self, this is independence, this is self-sufficiency, as well as our connections, Libra moon, and allowing ourselves to balance what it is that we need. Hey, I really need a night off. Hey, I really need A, B, and C, while still honoring the connection, honoring the divine within that human. And loves, what a week, what a week. I'm wishing you such a beautiful full moon, such a beautiful Jupiter conjunct Neptune. All of the links of the videos that I mentioned will be below, and I'm just so grateful that you spent virtually like 40 minutes. It'll probably be like 35 minutes with editing, and maybe I'll trim out a monologue or two. Who knows? But sending you all so much love, and until we meet again, drink lots of water and stay